Bit on visual impact. That's an example of lines. It will go through some of the most tranquil countryside in the UK, lost forever. These are various pictures of security fencing, viaducts, that's actually in Italy, and in Germany, noise barriers, just to give you a feel of the visual impact. What about the alternatives? There's this sort of myth going around that there isn't an alternative, that this is the only way to do it. But actually, you can improve capacity on the West Coast Main Line by 65% just by changing the rolling stock. There are currently 9 car sets for first, 5 seconds. The first demand has dropped, partly because the civil service has stopped allowing their guys to go first class. So there's capacity there. So we can improve capacity by 65% by extending it from 9 to 11 cars and by swapping 1 or 2 first class carriages. Then there is the commissioned report called Rail Package 2, produced by Atkins, and that is essentially dealing with 5 pinch points on the West Coast Main Line and a number of other improvements. So this is completely different from the whole-scale and very badly managed project on the West Coast Main Line. Some very specific improvements which can double capacity, in fact including the carriage changes, increase capacity 132%. Much higher net benefit ratio, can be done much more quickly, it can be done incrementally. One of the problems with HS2 is it's all or nothing. Once it's built, it's built. 34 billion investment looking that far into the future as opposed to adjusting to demand. We can also speed up the line by bringing forward what is basically in-cab signalling. That will allow the lines to travel 140 miles an hour instead of 125 miles an hour, which is part of the extra speed that Richard Branson's talking about. It's scheduled anyway for 2030, but that could be brought forward. And then, of course, there's Chiltern and electrifying the Midlands Main Line and so on. The issue of technology. Really just in the last year, I've started to tell people if they want a one-to-one meeting with me, I've said, why don't we just have a video call on Skype? Broadband is really good now, and you can have a very good conversation and see everyone's arm movements and all that stuff on a Skype call, and it's free and you don't have to travel. And of course the DfT are pushing people to perhaps spend a day a week at home and reduce their transport requirement. The other thing I've discovered recently, and the bit at the back is an example of a webinar. I don't know if you've done webinars. It's a web seminar. It's great because you can see the PowerPoint and you can play with it, go back and forth. You can see the presenter. You can interact with the other people at the seminar without having to, make a fuss. You can say speak up or explain it without actually shouting out anything in the seminar. So there's lots of advantages. And we could do so much more if we had ultra-high-speed broadband, which, by the way, is what South Korea is investing $25 billion in. So the choice for businesses is spend an hour on a webinar, free, or you spend half a day going to London, £130 return with Virgin, and in all that time, 4 hours or whatever. I think that will start to eat into demand for transport, and I've just had an email this morning from BT to confirm that, although they don't know how much, it will cut the growth in business demand, which is good. It's green and it's very fast.